Yo, let me teach you how to do something cool. It's important to note that this is a much more advanced type of technique. I've been having a lot of fun putting up these advanced tutorials, but this is not a recipe. You're not going to go step by step and find it. Your body has to get to this point, but you're more than welcome to play with the steps and enjoy this process of how the sound works. To do this, we're going to glug it, we're going to grunt it, we're going to pull it forward, we're going to make it voiceless, we're going to lean in, and then we're going to have fun. Step one, glug it. So to start off with, we're going to make this sort of glugging, drinking a beverage noise. Or we're going to sort of make a goofy little laugh. When you do that, you're going to make the back of your tongue squeeze and the top of your throat engage just a little bit. You're not going to feel like you're choking your voice back, but you are going to feel like you're narrowing the airflow at the top of your throat. A lot of people classify this as either an epiglottal or an arytenoidal growl. I've seen myself do it under a scope, and I had activation from all of those bits. So name it what you want. I'm more focused that it feels right and that it sounds right. When we do this, it's important that we're not squeezing our vocal folds together. If you make this sound, and you feel that going on while you're making this or sound, you're on the wrong track and you're probably going to strain yourself. Your airflow should feel consolidated, not restricted. Next, once you're comfortable with that noise and you're comfortable holding on to it, hey everybody, this kind of sounds like Kermit the Frog, or maybe even like a sort of Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm the Terminator, that sort of sound. We're ready to move on to step two. You actually heard me do it by accident, but we're going to do a little bit of a grunt, right? So if we do a grunt normally, then we get that sound. If we have this position, this posture, we get this sound, which sounds a lot like an orc from Warcraft 3, or maybe Yoda. Strong with the force he is. This sound is imperative to have going on in your voice if you want to make these deep, low screams, or at least in this way. But the problem is it's not always very comfortable to do. So how do we fix that? What I like to do is I like to think about eating a delicious food, right? For me, one of my favorites is paella. I love paella in all of its varieties. It's delicious. I cannot get enough. So I'm going to imagine eating some delicious paella while I make this noise. By moving my lips and tongue forward and keeping my jaw relaxed, I can create a lot more space, and that sensation of grit will move forward and up in my vocal tract versus staying down low where it's comfortable and kind of makes you feel like you have to cough. If it feels scratchy and like you have to cough, you're doing it wrong. Take a break. Let me know. Another trick is to do a really bad Sylvester Stallone impression. Hey, so I'm Sylvester Stallone. I'm talking like this. I got my lips forward. I got my voice forward. Hey, I'm very animated. Hey, and if I do the noise with Sylvester Stallone. Hey, I'm Sylvester Stallone. What's going on? My name is Mark and I like pizza. Give me that gabagool. I don't know if Sylvester Stallone was eating a lot of gabagool. It just felt good to say in the moment. Also, I don't know what gabagool is. I think it's like a meat. Now, it may take you a long time to get here, but once you're able to talk like this very comfortably without any sort of pain or strain or discomfort, what we're going to do is we're going to drop the sound of our true voice. Now, this is something that you already know how to do. We do it all the time in language. For example, we have voiced and non-voiced consonants. What's the difference between an S and a Z? Well, let's find out. The presence of true chord phonation, or your voice. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this chewy exercise again. And we're going to think about letting that voice move away, almost as if I was going. But I'm going to hang on to that grit. If you're feeling the strong need to cough, then what you probably need to do is to lean in, give it a little bit more power from your abdominal muscles, and think about that sound being focused almost behind your nose. You can hear that it already starts to kind of sound like a scream. And if you're just banging your head against the wall and it still hurts, your body just might not be ready for this, and you might need to learn a fundamental technique first. You'll know you've got it under control when you can talk in sort of like a Dr. Claw sort of voice, like this right here. It's a very cartoony voice. It's very simple. It doesn't hurt. It's not painful, but it takes a while to get to this point. Now we're going to lean into it, and we're going to use our orc voice for calibration. So go back to the voiced version. Hey. And we're going to imagine we're calling out to somebody. When I do this, my throat stays relaxed. My abdominal muscles squeeze. I feel like I'm pushing out a fart. No, I'm not kidding. And I'm going to call out to somebody. You can even do it with your normal voice first. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 hey. You can think of being upset. Maybe you could think of Sylvester Stallone being upset, right? Hey, 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 Jimmy, hey, come on. Hey, 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 hey. Try that with the orc voice. Hey, 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 It's important to note that you don't need to be very loud. In fact, hang around till the end of this clip and you'll hear me doing it in a fully mixed song, and it's going to sound really big and loud, but in actuality, it was only around there, which is just a little bit above my speaking voice. Volume is important, but it's not the most important thing. So then once I'm comfortable calling out to somebody, hey, 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 utilize that same leaning in exercise with the voiceless sound. Hey, I'm Dr. Claw. Hey, 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 hey. You can also make this a little bit more methodical, utilizing staccato to make things quick and easy. Hey, 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 hey. And there you have your growl. Whoa! Now just do goofy tongue shapes, and if you're like me, pull on your whiskers to get a really weird resonance space. Again, this is an outline, not a recipe. You may do this and have success. You'll probably do this and be like, what the hell is this guy talking about? And have to take a long time figuring out these pieces. If this is just not working, it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing it wrong. It means you probably need to learn a fundamental technique first. Lucky for you, I'm a professional vocal coach. I've been doing this for about 5 years, had tons of students, been doing vocals for close to 15 years in a band called Kardashev. So feel free to reach out if you're having trouble. I'd be happy to help you out. And if you want to know what this sounds like in a mix, check it out.